I'm afraid someone's going to take mine, so
I
want to blurt her out. So does anyone remember the "What's Your Thing" commercial?
Shit, that was gotta be mine too.
I forgot that. That's a
Remember
good
that one where my thing's a T-Rex, and then he does. Yeah. So, anyways, that was my favorite one. But there's another one I really like too, and now we got to go back a little bit further. Does anyone remember the Chips Ahoy 1,000 Chips Delicious?
Are you shitting me? Welcome to your last podcast, the last podcast in the game, but the first you should listen to. I'm your host, Colton Simpson. With me this week, always in my corner, we have the amazing Grace Tatigian.
Hello, hello.
And down at the other end of the table, it's Mr. Listen himself, Josh Vey.
What are you at?
And last but certainly not least, it's our resident audiophile, Heroin Ham himself, William Ham Clark.
Hi.
So what is your last podcast? We're a conversational podcast where every week each of us brings a topic of conversation to argue amongst ourselves and talk it out for your amusement. If you like that, be sure to subscribe to the podcast feed to never miss a new episode. And if you're watching on YouTube, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're feeling generous or have a couple of bucks to toss our way, you can always head on over to patreon.com/yourlastpodcast and help support the show. So with all that out of the way, Josh.
Yes.
What's your topic?
Okay, so my topic this week is a quick cash get rich scheme, right? So based on your own bad habits, if your only source of revenue was to tax your own bad habit, what bad habit would you tax to make the most amount of money in the shortest period of time?
Yeah.
So I'm going to toss her across the table there now because I know she's grinning ear to ear. She got something good. Spill your beans now. What do you got?
Oh my gosh. Reading way too many stupid BuzzFeed articles.
Oh, God.
It does not matter what the article is. It could be 50 tweets you only get if you grew up in Alabama. I have never been to Alabama. I have no interest in going to Alabama, but you can bet I am going to read that list. I don't know why. But I do just in general love lists. And it's just, I will read so much nonsense that has nothing to do with anything. I have no interest in it. It gets to the point actually where BuzzFeed recommends lists to me that are not in English.
Are they in French?
French is second most. Spanish is third most. I get a fair amount of Portuguese and German also.
Oh my God, you just exhausted all of the
I know,
English
I
lists.
exhausted.
No, we could use that though, because if you set the standard rate at $1 an article, right, and you read the same article in 4 different languages, that's $4. So maximize your profit here now.
It's pointless. And actually, it happened. This was a couple months ago. I got a notification. Now I don't go to BuzzFeed.com. There are lists that will pop up on Facebook, and then I click on it, and then you can just swipe through them. So I don't go out of my way to look for this. I just get sucked in. And Facebook recommended, they said, you are one of BuzzFeed's top fans. And I got like this badge or whatever. It was so
How come you never
mortifying.
printed it off to bring in with you?
I have a screenshot of it, so I'll send it to Colton. He can put it up on the video, because when it happened, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to show Colton. This is so embarrassing. Yeah, it's a huge, huge time sink.
So how much money do you think you could make at it? $1 an article. Let's give you a 2-week period.
Oh my gosh.
Just like
$1
get paid every
article?
2 weeks, just like a normal job. What would you get?
I would say I easily read 10 articles a day.
My
At least.
10 bucks a
So
day.
we're taxing just ourselves, not the general population?
No, just yourself. Yeah.
Oh, shit. I thought it was general population.
We save it for after.
Because I was going to say Grace's is maybe a bad choice because BuzzFeed has a time. Eventually, it's going to die. It's a website. It probably won't exist forever. It's probably not like a Google.
It's dated.
That's why, like, with myself, the one that I thought of right away was biting my nails. I'm really bad for biting my nails. I do it like a personal grooming. The last time I clipped my nails was when we were filming Parliament, was just literally because I knew there was going to be close-ups on my fingers, like for typing. So yeah, I bite my nails like literally like not even like a nervous habit, but just like, oh, they're long, I'll trim them down.
Ew.
Yeah. So I thought like when you mentioned this topic, I was like, a lot of people bite their nails. I see a lot of people like nervously doing it when they're driving, like at a stoplight and stuff. But yeah, in terms of making money just for myself, that's not a good one because I bite my nails like once every 2 weeks.
So you'd go broke.
Yeah, I go broke. I made a bad choice.
You get on average about Well, if you count your toes, you might get $20 every 2 weeks or $20 a week.
Yeah, the toes take a couple months before I even have to bother with those.
You got to go to a few yoga classes.
Please tell me you
bite
clip
the
your toes.
I won't answer.
Oh my gosh, no.
Okay, so let's say $10 tops for you versus Grace's. Are you working on the weekends too? Are you reading BuzzFeed on the weekends?
Oh, I read way more on the weekends. That's why I'm
so let's max
averaging
that
it
up
out.
to 20.
I probably read, let's say on the weekends, closer, particularly wake up in the morning, just scrolling through BuzzFeed. On a weekday, I have maybe 5 minutes. I lie in bed. Weekend, I might lie in bed for half an hour. How many BuzzFeed articles can I make my way through then?
God, you got to get to bed by. You're going to have bed sores. You stay in bed that
Oh
long.
my gosh, it's terrible. And I don't even care about the stuff. It'll be like, oh, Kim Kardashian named her newest child. And I click on the article. Do I remember what she named her newest child? No, it's in one ear and out the other. I don't even learn anything. It's terrible.
Okay, so $50 Monday to Friday, and then we'll chalk it up to maybe 40 more on the weekend. So I mean, that's not bad. You're almost pushing $100 a week. That's pretty good. Whereas Colton making $10.
Yeah, $10 every 2 weeks. Rich.
Well, are you charging by nail?
No, well, yeah, $1 per finger.
Oh,
and
okay.
I go like what every 2 weeks maybe.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
got to
know.
get paid bi-weekly, right?
Yeah.
For tax purposes. Anyways, so Ham, what do you got?
I was gonna say eating ass. No.
I'm afraid to know how many dollars you've made at that. To tell you the truth.
Oh my God, I just took a drink of water. That was almost a catastrophe.
No, my actual one's pretty boring. It's coffee. It's
Okay.
coffee.
Yes.
I drink coffee probably, I don't know, like 5-6 times a day, if I'm being honest.
Wow.
So you add
Large
that
or small? Large, I know you. You're drinking large. You don't fuck around with small.
Oh, I got a sizable cup.
He drinks it most times right up to the rim so much that he's spilling it on the counter, on the floor, everywhere.
That's never happened.
Profits gone.
You've never spilled coffee in a vehicle before, have you?
No, never.
Never once. No fucking coffee stains in any of our vehicles.
No, definitely not.
It's only when I get in your guys' vehicles, though. I swear to God, I don't spill it on the bus.
What
which
the
is
fuck?
way-
You're going to waste empty or out in the bus. I don't give a dancing fuck about the bus, but in our cars, stabilize, my son, stabilize.
I need like a gimbal for my coffee.
Yeah,
Just
you definitely
Well, you
do.
got to start tucking too, right? You don't
Yeah.
employ the tuck method that I've learned through my years of academic studies to tuck your flat down, right?
So like if I take my like average coffee drinking and then like add on like a few, burst days where, I didn't sleep at all. I wonder why I don't. I think I'd be like Jeff Bezos, like level of
Oh my-
income.
Okay.
the
Very
richest man in the world.
good. Yeah, so that would work out to roughly like 3.8 trillion coffees a day, I guess, but whatever,
Yes.
somewhere around there.
I'd be a living god.
But I mean, you drink so much coffee and yet you still move so slowly. I honestly
Yeah.
wonder if you stop drinking coffee, would you start moving backwards?
Yes, would it
I
have the
worry a
inverse
little
opposite
bit.
effect?
I think I'd just die. Legit, I think I'd just die.
It don't work as a stimulant for you. That's a really interesting point because you would think that would light a fire under your arse, but it doesn't.
Well, maybe it is. This is
Wow.
what I'm saying.
Well,
It
don't give it
kinda-
off. Don't take a chance.
It kind of just like sorts out my jumbled mess of a brain and like gives it some funnel of focus.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, I was like, all right, you go 6 coffees a day, let's say Monday through Friday. You have 2 binge days, 8 coffees each
Sure,
day.
sure.
So you're up to $46 a week.
Mm-hmm.
So that beats Grace.
Now, if you were
by
smart,
$2.
you'd crack them all back to small, right? So
There we
instead of having
go.
6 a day, you'd have 12 a day to make $12 a day as opposed to
true.
6.
This is
No,
true.
it's a method to the madness.
Doubling the amount of coffee stains I need to clean up.
Exactly. Okay, so right now, so far, Grace is in the lead.
$10.
Colton's
No. Ham's in the lead.
Ham's in the lead,
Yeah.
Grace is in the middle, and Colton's at the ass end.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm about to devastate you all because the best way to make money for myself would be to tax my fucking swearing.
That's what I was thinking.
So if you charge me, and even if I just limited it to F-bombs,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, so I kept track of this yesterday, and I had one of my classmates help me with this just for a 3-hour period, how many times I said the word fuck. And anyone want to take a guess how many times it was?
This was within class?
Yeah, well, we were working on our project. So
Oh,
it
okay,
was,
so not like sitting and listening.
No. This was, well, that too. Talking amongst yourselves. Take a guess in a 3-hour period. How many F-bombs there were?
17 times.
I was going to guess 20.
33.
Yeah, I was guessing in the 30s.
God.
33 times.
Because it's a filler word.
Well, it's the ultimate word. I mean, it's a verb, it's a noun, it's a name. You can assign a certain person a certain name with it. It's excellent, and it is a filler word. So yeah, I think that I could easily pull off $50 a day for sure, no sweat whatsoever.
Ruthless.
100%, right? And then you times that out by 7, so that's $350 a week. So,
You got us destroyed.
So you guys need to change your bad habits.
We need to up those numbers.
You do, yeah. I mean, you got to start drinking more coffee. You got to do a little bit more reading, and you got to find something else to
They've
bite.
run out of English articles. I'm doing the best I can, guys.
So that was kind of interesting. I know it's just a little fun one that I saw.
Damn it, it's not even fun when you actually like open it up to the general population, because I think swearing would beat all the other ones as well.
Well, the only other one I could think of that would be worse would be something like, I don't know, like picking your nose or something like that. There's some people that are constantly picking all the time. It's true. Like there's always one in school that you see who's just rooting at himself all the time.
Yeah, but I think the cursing would still beat that out. Like
I suppose, yeah, it depends.
BuzzFeed, I think coffee would beat BuzzFeed listicles in terms of a global scale.
Yeah, I definitely agree. If you open it up broadly to social media, it's probably comparable.
If you said, well, even if you just said something like texting, if you want to consider that a bad habit.
I feel like ours go hand in hand though, because like people are just like on their break, scrolling through BuzzFeed on their phone, drinking a coffee, having their little
Browse.
little browse.
Are you trying to combine? Oh, so we could combine these all. So we could read a BuzzFeed article, drink a coffee, bite our nails, and fucking swear at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
You can make like $300 an hour like that if you wanted to.
You'd be every nervous millennial ever.
There you go.
I need to look up the stats for biting your nails because I'm kind of curious.
I can't put up with that because I find you get the rough edges on your nail.
Yeah.
Oh, not when you've been doing it for years. It's down to a science.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad for biting my nails too, if I'm going to be honest. So
Very good. All
Yeah,
right.
usually my nails will get long enough that if they're bad, I can just rip them instead of putting them in my mouth.
so much worse.
So when you ask me about my
The
toenails,
coffee's kicking in. The coffee's kicking in. You come to life.
You
when
rip off your nail.
Well, just across the top.
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
pull
yeah.
the whole thing off.
yeah, when you mention toenails, that's where my toenails are. It's just when they get to a point, you can just
You can tear them
that's it.
side on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tear them side on. You don't even have to use clippers. And like when it's the natural break, it's like a perfect like semicircle. Unless you're somebody who cuts like your toenails square, like rectangular. I've seen people do that, but
Exactly,
like no,
yeah.
mine just look like toes. That's,
Exactly. Okay, so that's my topic. So who are we tossing it to next?
Okay, so my topic.
You, I guess.
Yeah, it's me. So my topic is what's your favorite commercial? And this actually came up because a few weeks ago, your scores topic, Ham, and I asked right before we recorded, is this limited to movies? And you said, no, it could be anything. It could be movies, it could be shows, it could be commercials. And I went, oh, commercials, because there's some really good ones out there. So Josh, you're chomping at the bit there.
I'm afraid someone's going to take mine, so
So go ahead.
I want to blurt her out. So does anyone remember the What's Your Thing commercial?
Shit, that was got to be mine too.
I forgot that.
Remember
That's a good
that
one.
where
Yeah.
my thing's a T-Rex?
My thing's sound effects. Here's a T-Rex.
And then he does yeah. So that was my absolute favorite commercial growing up. Anyone who grew up in like late 90s and the double O's.
Watch YTV.
Watch
yeah.
YTV. That was the best commercial. It used to come on always between Uh-oh and like Hey Arnold.
Uh-oh.
I have now 3 backups to that. so I'm
Okay,
good,
there you
yeah.
go.
So anyways, that was my favorite one. But there's another one I really like too. And now we got to go back a little bit further. Does anyone remember the Chips Ahoy 1,000 Chips Delicious?
Are you shitting me? I literally had 3 written down. It was that one. What's your thing? The Chips Ahoy when they're dancing down
Yep.
like with the beat.
With the jazz music?
Yes,
I love
yes, that one, and then the "Don't You Put It in Your Mouth" one
Yeah.
for concerned
yeah.
children's
Oh, right,
advertisers.
right, yeah,
because that
I
was a
remember.
really messed up one with all the puppets.
If you don't know just what it is, remember, boys and girls, don't put it in your mouth.
The other one that I thought of as well, and I'm just going to take them all now, was the Astro guy who said, I can put my arm back on. You can't. Remember that? But he got his arm caught up in the blower. Yeah.
Who looked like a what was that show?
Like
Reboot?
Reboot.
Yeah, it looked like
yeah.
Reboot, like shitty CGI graphics. That was probably like 98, 97, something like that.
I am Ashtar, a robot from planet Danger. I can put my arm back on. You can't. So play safe.
2 versions of that, guys.
Is it really?
Yeah, there's 2 versions of it. One's a live action one.
What?
Yeah.
How do you put that on TV?
No, his like the arm coming off isn't as great. The CGI one is by far the superior one.
Really? I don't remember that.
I don't remember the live action one either.
But no, the Chips Ahoy one, just coming back to that one for a second, you can see him like dancing down the conveyor belt line, and the chocolate chip is like swinging to the jazz music. It is a great commercial.
Can't believe you stole like 3 of mine.
It's so good.
All right, the last one I have that I remembered when you were blurting this out
Get in now before I takes it.
The North American House Hippo.
Yeah, that was a good one
yeah.
too.
I remember I used to
Yes.
watch that as a kid all the time, and I was like,
God,
I can't believe these actually live in
Yeah.
people's houses.
I know.
And that was the whole
What
point.
a
of
great
it, like,
infestation to have.
But I mean, it took me years before I realized
Oh,
that
yeah.
it was a commercial for "Don't Believe Everything You See
yes,
on TV."
Yes,
Yeah.
and that was the genius of it. That like as kids, when you were watching it, kind of like eating on the crumbs, and like the CGI was really good. I believed it. I was like, this is amazing. I
Yeah.
can't believe house hippos live in Labrador. Like, I was shocked.
There was a whole bunch of those. I don't know if it was all Concerned Children's advertising, but there was a whole bunch of precautionary ones. And now I don't have a TV, so I don't know if these commercials are still out there. Do you remember the one with the 2 bunnies who were like stranger danger bunnies?
Yeah.
And they were like,
Stranger danger,
don't
yeah.
answer the door if your parents aren't home.
I do,
Don't go
I
out
do, yeah.
rollerblading without a helmet, that kind of stuff.
What were their names? One was a girl and one was a boy. The
I don't
The
remember.
2 bunnies. I remember one bunny was blonde and the other one sort of looked like Bugs Bunny. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it would come on during like Looney Tunes shows, like on the commercials.
Weird.
Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. And they were always rollerblading, and they had helmets and elbow pads and knee pads. They were so protected because they were the safe bunnies. I don't remember what their names were.
I remember that. I can see it in my head. They had helmets on with their like ears poked up through
Yeah,
the helmet.
exactly.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, exactly.
Was that your favorite?
No, it
commercial?
wasn't. I had totally forgotten it until you guys started talking about it.
Oh,
Just
okay.
that whole genre of commercials of be careful and be a critical thinker.
So
think
what
that-
is yours then?
So mine is this came out just a couple months ago. It's the Michael Bublé bubbly water one. Have you guys seen
yeah,
it?
I've seen that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. And it's just the kind of ad that's on usually before a YouTube video. There is a longer version, but the one that's on before a YouTube video is maybe 10 seconds long. And it's Michael Bublé in the grocery store, and everyone's calling him, "Hey, Mr. Bubbly." And he goes, "It's Bublé." And then everybody's drinking the bubbly water. And he's like, "Oh, I see you're drinking Bublé water." And it's just, I don't know why. It makes me laugh every single time I see the commercial. And he's just, "It's Bublé."
You mean bubbly.
No, I mean Bublé.
You're Michael Bublé. That's a bubbly.
She's right, Michael Bublé. It's pronounced Bublé. I know, thanks. Dave.
Can I have your autograph, Mr. Bubbly?
It's Bublé.
I don't know. He's just so funny. And I just really appreciate people who can laugh at themselves. And I really, really like that commercial. So when you were talking about scores in commercials, now I don't know the score in that commercial offhand, but the fact that it was a musician in this commercial that made me think of it definitely is what made me think
Such
of it.
an
I love
obscure
it.
commercial.
No, it's great. Pam, what about you?
So this isn't my favorite, but I have to bring it up. Do you guys see the Soda Stream and the mountains in it from Game of Thrones? And he's just telling everyone, why would you use plastic bottles? Why do you hate Mother Earth? And he's just like doing his mountain thing and being like this big fucking Ogus.
Nice.
Are you talking about Jason Momoa?
No,
No.
no. There's a guy called the Mountain in Game of
Oh.
Thrones.
That's right,
He's
yeah.
massive. Like he's huge, and I
He's
think
just
he's
this
played
big
by
Viking.
I believe the
dude,
word
yeah.
you're looking for is Ogus.
Yeah, he's played by like I don't know, the heavy lifting champion of the world or something. Yeah.
I just know that semi-recently Jason Momoa did a commercial, something about environmental awareness, and shaved his beard and mustache on camera as
Oh,
like
okay.
a statement or something like that. So I wondered if that was what you're talking
I mean,
about.
he has a beautiful face anyway, so that's all right. That's all right. But I'm gonna bring this back here. So my favorite infomercial of all time. You guys are gonna think I'm absolutely.
I love infomercials. I'm ready.
Absolutely dumb, but it's the CLR commercial in the 90s, and there's
Oh.
a reason behind that. I used to sit in front of my like old boob tube in my diaper and watch CLR commercials, and I remember this, and I'd be like, "Holy shit, this fixes everything!"
It
Like,
does fix everything.
What about OxyClean? Same thing.
OxyClean,
No,
another good
no.
one.
Can you explain the CLR commercial? Because I'm not sure I know it.
Do you know what CLR is?
Yeah, I know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like that gray
The
bottle.
calcium
with
lime
yeah,
rust.
yeah,
It just
yeah.
cleans everything, Colton. It does. It's magical.
So they just
Now available at
just-
Canadian Tire.
fill up like things of CLR and just pour things in, and they'd bring
Pull
it
'em
up,
out?
and you'd see like this huge, massive difference. And I'd be like, "Holy shit, this stuff is magic!"
CLR glass decanters, quick and clean. CLR your pots and pans. CLR those water spot stains, and your toilet too. CLR the stucco wall. Run a little through an empty washer cycle and get rid of rust stains in your machine. CLR works all over the house.
It was like the Billy Mays OxyClean
Okay.
commercial. It's very similar.
But CLR is better.
But in
Yes.
terms of like some runners up that I thought of as well, that were like,
Hold on,
all right, okay, I don't want to
Hold
steal your
on.
thunder. Go on.
So I used to be so obsessed with the CLR thing that I used to go to my dad when I had like I broke things or like something needed to be fixed, and I'd tell him, "Dad, you need to CLR it. You need to CLR it."
Or
And he'd-
drop a ad on there.
Yeah, throw drop that on her, and he'd be like, all right, I'll go CLR it for you." And he'd like bring back my toys fixed, or like he'd say, "Yeah, I'll go get some CLR and we'll go fix it."
That's so cute.
Oh my lord.
What
No.
are your runners up
Well,
there,
some
Josh?
runners up that I thought of too was like, does anyone remember the Subaru sumo wrestler car wash commercial?
No.
Where there's like 5 fat sumo wrestlers washing the car in bikinis.
Oh, actually, yeah.
Do you remember that one? They got like the sexy girl music playing on there while they're
think I
washing the
do.
car.
Yeah,
That was a
yeah.
really good one. It might not have been Subaru. It might have been like something else. It might have been Mitsubishi or something actually. But anyways, there was that one, and then of course, Slap Shop.
Oh, yeah,
Vince
that's
from
classic.
Slap Shop and the
Infomercials
ShamWow.
are a whole other kettle of fish.
He had a rising career until he punched that hooker in the face and
It's
ended up in
true.
jail.
Yeah. I got to mention Creepy Crawlies because I don't know if any of you guys remember those, but
That was a song,
Oh,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
you,
Creepy
you
Crawlies.
make like these gummy
these
things
gummy-
you can eat.
Yeah, and I remember like the commercial was always like kids being basically like mad scientists and
Yeah,
creating
yeah,
these
yeah.
weird worms and shit, and they'd
I
always
remember.
turn out to be real in the commercial. I was like, holy shit, this is scary as
Scared
hell.
to put one of them together.
Yeah, I thought that was a great commercial. I also used to like the Easy Bake Oven commercials.
Oh yeah,
And it was just because
anything is possible with an
and-
easy bake oven.
yeah, and they just would come out the other side as like these beautiful cakes and shit. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe it's that easy.
Did you ever have an easy bake
Yeah.
oven?
Well, I didn't. My sister did.
They take like an hour to like. It's completely unrealistic to ask a 5-year-old to wait an hour for a light bulb to cook.
I don't
a
think
cake.
you would have been the only sibling to sort of like get in on your sister's gift when it was Easy Bake Oven. Like try to
no.
put like a tin of Vienna sausages in there or something to see if they'll cook with a light bulb.
Well, my brother's always been big into kind of like baking, like when we were younger. So I think he kind of took over the Easy Bake Oven, and yeah, we'd have like these little vanilla cakes and like the little thin tins.
Easy
Oh, they're
Bake Brandon.
amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
had
it
that.
was
I
great.
also had the Baskin Robbins ice cream maker, which was pretty sweet.
Oh, we didn't have that. We'd have to do the old Ziploc bag with the salt and the ice
Yeah.
cubes method. You know, then sometimes it breaks and the salt gets in your ice cream. And
We just
yeah.
went to A&W. Like, we didn't arse around with that.
Also, on the topic of snacks, the strawberry shortcake commercial, the little dolls,
Mhm.
they had a really catchy jingle. Strawberry shortcake, ginger snap, orange blossom, fun never ends. And my brother
We never got
changed
that
it.
channel.
And my brother changed it to, I don't remember what it was, but it was ginger snakes, orange bottom. And I don't know, he changed the words, but he would always sing it. So, oh man. Do you guys, okay, so a lot of the TV that we watched was the Fox channel that went through Burlington, Plattsburgh. So Burlington, Plattsburgh, Montreal. So we got a lot of American ones.
Okay.
And there was this commercial for an alarm company called Alarm Force. Call 1-800-267-2001.
Yeah.
Alarm Force.
Remember-
I will never forget that
Remember
phone
Stanley
number.
Steamer gets carpets cleaner?
Does anybody remember the General?
Oh, register or something for a quote online. Go to the General and save some time.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Yeah, I always remember that too. Yeah.
And of course, locally, we got to give him a shout out. What's the number for Peter's Pizza, Colton?
738-8888.
Peter's Pizza tastes great. Not really, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty decent.
Yeah.
You know, for like a dictator running a pizza shop, it's
Saddam
pretty
Hussein.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. That was a good one.
Yeah, there's a lot of good commercials out there that stick with you.
Not too much anymore, though. A lot of that stuff, I seem like we've gone past the golden age for commercials now. A lot of the good shit was back in the double O's in late 90s, I find.
I still think like overseas, like in like Asian markets, they have a lot of weird commercials. Like every now and then you do the whole YouTube stumbling down, like all the different commercials. And there's one that I remember actually getting talked about in our health class when we were in high school. And it's like this condom commercial where like the kid is screaming in a grocery store, but he's inside of a bubble. Like a bubble kind of goes around him, and it's basically like, you know, unless you want a kid screaming at you all the time, make sure to use protection.
Oh my goodness.
And I remember it's a very kind of weird commercial because it's like a kid getting basically like enclosed in a plastic bag, and I'm like, how did this even make it like on the air?
It must
like,
be that vacuum challenge just going around.
Oh yeah, it might be. Yeah.
Was like, and like talking about weird commercials that you end up finding on YouTube. What's the guy who's covered in yogurt and he's like scooping it off his head? Baby's favorite yogurt or something?
It's not Baby Bell, but God, what little baby's ice cream. I think is what it's
that's
called.
what it is. Yeah.
I'll put up a picture of that for sure, but it is the most messed up
he's
commercials.
covered in, I thought it was yogurt. I guess it's ice cream or something.
It's marshmallow fluff. Like the actor didn't ask me anything on Reddit. So yeah, they're actually covered in marshmallow fluff, but yeah, it's supposed to be like little baby's ice cream.
Yeah.
And they're just staring like at the camera and like scooping ice cream off their head and eating it. It is messed up.
Wasn't there another one? Same company did it for something with horses.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't remember what it was for.
Was it 100 little horses?
No, there was one that was like two-legged horses or something. I just don't remember.
It was something
what it
like
was.
you
was a
see
meme, wasn't
legs
it?
walking, and then there's these horse faces, and they turn. It was like for a barber shop or something. I don't remember what it
God.
was, but whatever advertising company did the little baby's ice cream also did this weird horse one. I remember we found that a little while later.
It's good for viral marketing, though, for sure, because once you stumble upon that, you have to share it with all your friends because it's just so messed up. Like,
What was that commercial that gave everyone nightmares? Do you know what I'm talking about? There was this commercial from the 90s where there was this logo and this weird like animatronic sound that came in, and it was known for giving people nightmares.
The Screen Gems logo,
Yes,
I think it
that's
was.
what-
yeah,
that's
and it
what
would
it
play
is.
after like trailers and stuff on TV. Yeah, it's this weird thing. There's a documentary about it, I think,
is there?
actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's this weird noise that whenever the Screen Gems logo would come on, a lot of children reported like having nightmares from hearing and
Really?
seeing the noise, seeing the logo. Yeah, it's strange.
I always think about how, you know, who is convinced to buy these things through advertising? You know, there's commercials for so many strange things. Like one thing I'll never understand is commercials for perfume. Who watches, I don't know, I'm going to say Julia Roberts dancing around in Paris with a scarf and goes, I need that perfume.
I come close on Slapshot.
Oh yeah, no, that like
Pops open
infomercials.
like a butterfly. Almost had me.
But yeah, but they make such a strong impression just from our discussion, how many great ones that we remember. But yeah.
For sure.
Yep. All right, Ham, I'll let you finish up your drink of coffee there. And
Oh my god! And look at this. It looks like a bit of
Take
tar.
your time. I mean, we're only recording here. Take your time.
That's no good for the audio listeners. No one can see how black your coffee is.
All right. So I wanted to go into. We're going straight into this. I wanted to know what piece of clothing would define your aesthetic.
All right. Well, for Josh, it's definitely the Woods coat and Air Monarchs.
Yeah.
Like, is
What
the
color Woods coat, though? I mean, you want to be really specific.
Well, it depends. Like a plaid Woods coat, but you know,
Yeah.
you have a couple of different colors.
Of course, you got to have a wide variety. of selections, right?
Also, some tacky ass sunglasses.
Oh, you got to have those by.
Oh, we had the same pair of sunglasses. I thought they were nice. Made us look like Men in Black.
You know what, though? Those glasses were a good buy. I bought those in Toronto in like 2011. Still rocking them here today.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
exactly.
goodbye.
Good buy. Exactly, right?
So that's yours? No question?
I guess. I mean, that's what that was pretty much what I was going to go
Yeah.
with in terms of attire. Now, if you wanted to rewind the clock a little bit, it would have been like just a hoodie that's red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Red hoodie with blue jeans, and I always remember.
Mealy Mountain on it.
Yeah.
No. It was a plain red hoodie.
Plain red hoodie. Like I had 4 or 5 of them. Some had a little yin yang symbol on them. Another one had like flames going down the arms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Proper like Rip Zone hoodie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the only other thing that I could sort of add on to that is I do have my summer dress code, which is the blue jeans goes away for flower shorts.
Oh my god.
Usually, and I had a girlfriend one time
Full range of motion.
who was really like most of the women I'm involved with. They don't usually care much about like styling, but this one was so aggressively against my fucking shoes and my flower shorts. And it's amazing it lasted as long as it did.
I remember I went shopping with you guys one time at the Sport Check. She was
me and her.
Yeah, she was forcing you to buy new shorts, and you were like, "No, they don't have the same range of motion as my flower shorts." He's there doing like deep squats on the floor and like kicking his legs up, trying to make sure like he wasn't constricted.
Well, you got to be able to like, you got to be able to crouch down in the woods. You got to be able to bend over. You know what I mean? You got to be able to like. It's no good to wear something where you can't operate, right? Women don't seem to get that. But anyways, whatever.
Going off your shorts topic, like if we rewound the clock for me a couple of years too, jorts definitely right over
jorts.
Black jorts, and I think it's a DGK on the back for Dirty Ghetto Kid, which beautiful. They had a purple pocket on the right side. I think I wore those things almost every day because they were jean shorts. So yeah, they were like perfect. I'd always wear them back in like 2010 and 11. And then I was probably more so like graphic tees with like, movie references or TV references or something on it. But nowadays, I don't really know if I have an aesthetic. It's just very basic. I make sure I have my rings on all the time. I have pajama pants. Like if you come over to my house, like I'm always in pajama pants. But I mean, I don't usually go.
You have a lot of you got a lot of media reference. Like I'm thinking of that Alfred Hitchcock shirt.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. You always got something like a little bit abstract. You're very what's the word? Like if you're going to see a certain movie like Star Wars, you got a Star Wars shirt, or you got like a Jurassic Park shirt or something like that. It's very flavor of the day, whatever is going on.
Yeah,
right?
you're not wrong. Yeah, I do still have a lot of graphic tees. What were you going to say?
Referential stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
I was going to say the graphic tees are probably like tasteful graphic tees now, I would say. Less
Yeah, I don't have too many with logos on it, but now that I actually think in my closet, I do have the Star Wars one, like you said, that I bought for The Last Jedi and wore very seldomly since, and the Jurassic Park shirt, which I mean, I just rock that like all the time because I love Jurassic Park.
Sleeps with that on, I dear Lau.
Basically, yeah.
For Ham, I'm just going to sort of, just because I was trying to think of something for you. Yeah, and it's these little weird surprise pocket things that he has. This is like two or three now that I've seen you wear, where it looks innocent. He's got a little shirt on here for you audio listeners that has this little like pussy cat sticking up out of the pocket. Little do you know that fucking cat is waiting to give you the finger the second that you pull down the flap there on the front of his shirt. See, to me, like anything that's weird and abstract and Asian influenced is on you. You know what I mean? You got it.
Yeah, for Ham, I would also go with he rocks the same pair of shoes for the last probably 10 years, pretty much the same pair of boots, and as we've mentioned many times on the podcast, that backpack for Ham is just like, I used to yell at him so much when we'd be going into like Sobeys and be bringing in this huge backpack. We're going to the grocery store, got to make sure the laptop's packed up and put in there, going to the grocery store, might have a minute or two in the checkout. Like I used to be on his case all the time, but like, what are you doing? Like, why are you bringing that in here? There's no point. So he packs up that like, Franklin and his shell, But
now if you want to rewind, sorry, Grace, but I just got to touch one more thing on Ham.
Oh.
Let's go back. You know what I'm going to say? I can see you walking around pink gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Ham used to wear these fluffy pink gloves back. I mean, minus 50. These fucking gloves are probably only good for minus 4, if that. And he'd be walking around with these pink gloves on straight time.
Yeah, fingerless. So you cut the fingers off afterwards with a black death hoodie, the death metal band. And then he'd be wearing his mother's jeans. And they'd come up about halfway up his ass. And boxers be hanging out. And he wore that like every day.
Yeah. It was pretty obnoxious. It made everyone angry. So that was what made me happy.
Though, when we saw you on the side of the road, I never let you walk.
I remember Mr. Fraser, he made you wrap a scarf around your ass one time.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah. Because it was just hanging out, and apparently, he got on your case about it. But.
He was getting distracted by it. We know the truth.
It was too sensual for that class.
Yeah.
What was your item that you picked for yourself?
So my main item right now is probably, he said it, either my old beat up Vans Authentics, which I have owned probably like 12, 16 pairs of those probably, or my Doc Martens, because they're the ultimate sad boy. I listen to shitty music and I want to be Ramona Flowers. That's basically that boot.
Docs last forever though. I mean, they're a good investment.
Other than that, maybe some denim that hugs my thighs a little too tight.
Blessed Savior.
But that's about it. I think I dress like a Vans Warped Tour extra for the most part.
Like a roadie.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But for you, Grace, I had one in particular.
Okay.
And it's an oversized bathrobe.
Oh man, I didn't even think of that. My Costco bathrobe, so true, so cozy. Yeah, I have to. The sleeves are way too long, so I have to roll them up like 4 times. Yeah, it's funny. Like when you pose this question, it really depends. Are you talking about at home Grace? Are you talking about at work Grace?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's some, signature pieces depending on which one you're picking.
Well, yeah, you can identify too. Like the only one I could think of for you, and you got them on today, so it was like perfect. I was like, she always has these optical illusion pants on. where I'm looking at your pants, and there's like, stuff going on angles, and it looks like, I don't know if you're
tooth plaid for
I don't know if it's over here or over there.
Yeah, she wears a lot of weird patterns that most of the time I go like, that's like hideous. Like that's ugly as sin. But Grace pulls it off. Like she does wear a lot of these weird patterns. Or like I remember your llama sweater.
Oh, I love that llama sweater.
Like, yeah, you're somebody who like, especially when you're at home, I don't think you care too much about what you look like when you're
in general, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, like when you're at work, you're a little bit more like obviously professional. But yeah, at home you're wearing a lot of these weird patterns. Or I'm like, what the hell does she got on here now? I it's not a defining like piece of clothing that you used to wear, but I remember your Dougie pants you used to call them was like the Gilbert pants
I wear those over top of whatever I'm wearing to work in the mornings to walk if it's cold.
They were like 3 sizes too large. And
I ordered the small and they're enormous. They're not small.
Yeah, like where your ass is supposed to be is like down below her kneecaps. It is like way down there. They're hilarious looking. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're perfect for putting over literally whatever you're wearing to work if you got to walk through any amount of snow or it's raining or whatever, so you can be dry by the time you get there. But I was thinking, if we're talking about at home, I hadn't thought about my robe. You're right, Han. That's a solid one. I need a new one. It's in pretty pitiful condition. But I was thinking about my shad sweaters that I'm always wearing. I get one almost every year. And so I just have the same sweater, slightly different versions of it that I'm always wearing. I wear that and leggings, and that is my uniform
well, it's like me with
at
the
home.
Woods coats. It's the same thing.
But she doesn't wear the shad sweaters on the podcast. I guess.
No, I try not to because they're all in pretty pitiful condition because I wear them all the time.
Are they all burgundy as well? Like
they're most often burgundy.
Okay.
I do have a gray one. I do have a blue one.
Yeah.
I do have a red one.
Here.
I mean, we're basically the same anyways.
But but then at work, usually I've got something with a bit of a funky pattern on it, just for something fun, something different. Houndstooth plaid pants, something with floral embroidery on it.
Who else wears houndstooth plaid pattern?
Who?
Ricky from Trailer Park Boys.
Does he?
Side by side comparison, they are identical. Grace and Ricky.
Oh my God.
Please don't say that.
But for pretty much I was thinking if I've got one piece of clothing that no matter what the occasion, it's probably my Steve Madden boots that I'm just always wearing. And not even for the aesthetic reason, but because there are very few shoes out there that can fit my orthotic inserts. And so these ones are just a godsend. Otherwise, my knees and feet and hips would be even worse off than they already are. So that is my.
What?
I know, I really am.
I love it. I can totally appreciate that answer.
But so probably those boots is what I would say.
Do you want to know what though? One of the reasons I wear my Docs so much is because the insole is so great.
Exactly.
Exactly. With the hair around her necks, this is so comfortable.
And it's like one of the only boots I can wear because there's not a whole lot of vegan boots that are not from Spring.
Do other shoes eat meat that I'm not aware of?
No, like they're made of plastic. They're not made of leather. But,
you don't want to wear spring shoes. They fall apart within like 3 or 4 months. Like they don't last long at all.
The nice thing about Maddens is they got the zipper up the side, so you don't actually have to lace them up every time, which is key.
Very practical.
It was always key in getting beat up too in middle school. Wear something with Velcro straps or zippers on
Zip
it.
off pants.
Yeah, it was always key to getting a good shit knocking.
Those zip off pants were not practical at all. Like you could not get the bottoms back on once you zip them off. It was impossible.
You think this is great for gym class, and then the rest of the day you spend wearing these shorts where the zippers are tickling your legs.
Remember when they did away with the crotch zipper for a while and some and you had 3 buttons instead?
Oh, yeah.
That was a style back in the double O's too. And remember you used to have like the handles, I used to call them, hanging off the side of your jeans, like down between the knee and the upper thigh. There would be like the strap.
Yeah.
Oh, carpenter pants.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's what you want. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
that's what it is, but I never understood the purpose of that. It was
Practically, it's for a hammer.
It came
like,
in-
to hang, but aesthetically, it's just ugly.
Could
It's
be,
to
yeah, could
attach
be.
your wallet with the chain on it to go down.
Yeah,
and weave it
exactly.
through.
Well, that's what everybody used to do.
Yeah.
But when you were on Skidoo, you could sort of hold on to that if there was someone in front of you, right? It was
Yeah.
good for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think does that sum it up?
I think
Yeah,
so.
I think
think
so.
so.
Everyone's satiated. All right.
Yep.
I'll trade styles one of these days. Everyone
Oh
show
my
up dressed
God.
a little bit differently.
Like bust out my Woods code. But my topic this week, I was really struggling to pick a topic this week. So I kind of went back through all of the different topics we've discussed already. And there were some holes, which maybe we'll get to within the next couple of weeks. But I was like, we haven't really talked about animals much on the show other than mythological creatures. So I thought,
And
all right.
personas.
And personas, the very first episode. So I'll very quickly pose the question first. What's your favorite animal? Just so we can get it out of the way. Do you know offhand? Mine's an alligator. Does anybody else know theirs right offhand?
Probably for me, if I had to identify one, I really like panda bears.
Okay.
I do like panda bears, which is such a random one. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah. Ham, you got a favorite animal? Just real quick to throw out there.
I mean, I like wolves because they're kind of like little beautiful little doggies.
All right. Grace, you have a favorite animal?
I'm going to say probably some kind of big cat. I get a really big kick out of the fact that it doesn't matter what size a cat is. They're all exactly the same.
Okay.
So I just get a kick.
Arseholes.
I just get a kick out of seeing like lions playing in giant cardboard refrigerator boxes when my cat does the exact same thing in my living room. So I guess, yeah, some kind of big cat.
Yeah, so like that was going to be my initial question, but like it took us all of like 30 seconds to discuss it. So I thought of something a little bit weirder that basically if you had the power entrusted to you to take one animal on like the endangered species list off of it, which animal would you choose? But also, what animal would you put in its place?
So there has to be a trade.
There has to be a trade, perfectly balanced as all things should be.
Okay.
So, Josh, what are you picking?
See, the one animal that I always remember growing up that was sort of like broadcast to us in the grade 8 science curriculum that went extinct was, you remember the Tasmanian tiger? They
Yeah,
used
I
to
do.
talk about that in like grade 8 science and how... No,
that's a
that's
saber-tooth.
Siberian tiger, or saber-tooth tiger you're thinking of. But they were always talking about the Tasmanian tiger and how it just went extinct back in like the 1900s. But they're gone, so it got to be endangered, not extinct.
Yeah, not extinct. We're not trying to bring back the dodo.
So
bird.
I'll go with the panda. Okay, the panda is endangered. Now, if I had to trade the panda for something else that I wouldn't mind being endangered, let's get rid of the fucking moose. Because they're a bloody nuisance as it is anyways. Yeah. The last couple that I've had, like, they're only good for moose sausages. That's about it, really, at the end of the day. People are whacking into them, killing themselves all the time. So let's swap the moose out for panda bears. It'd be way better if you had, like, an influx of panda bears bopping around the bogs here than these, than these big old, like, concrete walls that are mooses running out in front of vehicles. So it's like, yeah. Let's just get rid of the moose problem. That's the best. We've been trying to solve that for years. Here's our opportunity. Let's get her done.
All right. If we're doing a 1-to-1 trade like that, my answer just got really messed up. So when I looked at the list, I was going down through and I saw that blue whales were obviously endangered. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I remember when 9 of them got trapped in the ice up here a few years ago in northern Newfoundland, and then 2 of them washed on shore. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to make the trek to drive up and go see them.
When it was going to explode is when we got real interested.
Yeah, I wanted to go up and see, not only, I know it's a dead blue whale, but there's only like 200 of them left. And I mean, less than that since 9 of them got stuck in the ice. But I wanted to drive up and see it, and I never had the chance to do so. So I thought, all right, let's make blue whales not endangered. So, you're crossing on the ferry, you can see a blue whale or something. They're huge. They're these majestic mammals. And I thought one thing that I'd like to kind of get rid of is seagulls, because they're friggin' annoying. They pick at your garbage. They shit on your cars. They're always squawking. They are terrible. But if we do a 1-to-1 trade, if there's as many blue whales in the world as there are seagulls,
we'd run out of space.
Yeah, like the ocean be full.
Well, not only that, you're going to raise the sea level. It's like jumping in a bathtub. The water level goes up. If you had trillion blue whales in the ocean, I mean, my geez, the water would be up Mount Everest, you know?
Yeah. But Ham, you got a big reaction off the seagulls. Was that what you were going to pick as well?
That's what I was going to pick too. And I'm on board with that because fuck seagulls. They're useless shithawks.
They are.
And they're useless. So I
And
want
aggressive to children in Grand Falls outside McDonald's.
Yes.
There's a sign.
Gander.
Is it Gander? I thought it was Grand Falls. Or maybe there's one in there. as
There
well.
might be one in both.
Maybe they're
yeah.
aggressive in multiple locations.
So
That's probably the real answer.
She's tried to eat fries down the parking lot at Avalon Mall. Outdoors.
actually, you
Fucking
guys took
goals.
both of my answers. 'Cause it was seagulls was my main choice, then moose was my backup. So if I had to trade moose, I'd go and trade it for a beautiful caribou because
Yes.
they're lovely.
Much better.
Yeah.
Much better. They look nicer.
Yeah.
They taste better, even though
Yeah.
I don't eat meat anymore.
You
And
might
they're
consider
lovely.
it if there was an abundance of caribou.
They're lovely. They're
Yeah,
lovely.
Yeah, they're not quite as large either, which like when you're driving across the island and you see those beady eyes staring back at you and this thing is like massive, right? Walking out on the road, it scares the shit out of you. Whereas at least with caribou, they're like half the size.
Well,
so-
I remember when we were caribou hunting, if you quartered up a caribou, you were looking at about 85 pounds a quarter. So, I mean, do the math on, well, say 100 pounds, make it easy.
Yeah.
Like, caribou is probably 400 pounds,
Yeah.
as opposed to a bull moose, which is like 1,400, 1,600 pound moose. I think they're the largest terrestrial animal in North America, to tell you the truth. Maybe the bison might be there as well.
And they're
But
stunned.
stupid. Oh my God. Darting out in front of vehicles, getting eviscerated by cars. It's like nuisance, by.
You cannot drive across this island at night without seeing
Not
a
at night,
moose.
no.
no,
No, really
it's
can't.
terrifying. So just caribou and moose, you're trading those, or
I was gonna trade those, but also with the seagulls,
Shit
get rid
ox.
of them. Not even put them on the endangered list. Just kill them off completely.
Straight to genocide.
Complete holocaust on the seagulls,
God.
and we'll bring in the puffin because the
Ooh.
puffin is lovely.
Yeah, but they're not brilliant either.
They look some stupid flying, I find.
That don't matter.
On it?
They got a nice face on 'em, nice beak.
They do, yeah.
When I
so.
first moved here, I will never forget. It was a small town somewhere not too far from St. John's.
Witless Bay.
Okay, yeah, it was Witless Bay.
Yeah.
Where they were having this trouble because these puffins at night kept wandering into town, and so they had to bring the whole community together to volunteer to redirect all these baby puffins
Oh,
because they
that's
kept
nice.
wandering into the road.
Yeah, they were
Darwinism is what that is.
Yeah, they were going through towards the lights of the city
Yeah,
and just getting
exactly.
hit by cars. Yeah.
because they thought it was the moonlight reflecting off the water or
Yeah.
whatever. So these little penguins, or not penguins, puffins waddling into town and getting struck by cars.
It'd be pretty neat if they were penguins, though. If you swap that around, I don't know if there's any endangered penguins, but that'd be interesting.
It
Yeah.
would be interesting, yes.
All right, Grace, what are you swapping?
So I'm not sure if bumblebees are on the endangered species list, but they're close.
Honeybees are
Honeybees.
not bumblebees.
Okay.
There is a difference.
Honeybees.
All right.
So I was thinking not so much from an annoying animal perspective. I was thinking from an environmental perspective.
Yeah, which I expected one of us to pick. Yeah.
Bring back the honeybee. And I thought, okay, what is the animal that definitely has the least impact on the environment? So first I was thinking domesticated pets. You know, something like a hamster or something. Because,
God.
I mean, there might be, you know, obviously there's
True.
still some,
There's no
like
point to it.
in South America, there's tons of wild guinea pigs running around and stuff like that. But I was thinking, what's even more insignificant? Let's get rid of sea monkeys. We don't need them.
Is that an animal? Like,
Well, they
I-
are. They're like little lice.
they're
is
like,
what
yeah,
they
they're
are.
like small
Let's get rid
microscopic
of them.
organisms.
If they have them in the ocean, honestly, they cannot be making a big contribution.
I
So
don't know.
let's-
The ocean is a weird place. You get
It
rid of
is a
that, we
weird
could all be
place.
gone inside a week.
So I was thinking something on the ocean floor, and I was going to start doing some research. But I was like, you know what? We probably don't even know what these things do. But sea monkeys, you buy them freeze dried in the store,
Yeah.
and you hydrate them, and it's an instant pet.
I was expecting you to say hornet for a
yeah,
second
I was
because
expecting you to
like,
say maybe like mosquito or something like
as
that.
much as I
Yeah.
dislike any kind of stinging insect, I mean, I'm not afraid of them the way a lot of people are, but they still
you've
do
never been stung
pollen.
enough, I guess.
No, I've never been stung at all. But oh no, wait, I was stung once by a wasp. But anyways, but they still pollinate, so they still have a purpose. Kind of like, I'm not a fan of spiders, but you need them, and I'm not a fan of mosquitoes, but you need them. But honeybees,
Or timberfly, get rid of that.
you really need.
Yeah, when I first thought of the topic as well, I was like, oh, I wonder if like a platypus is endangered. And I searched up and the bastard's not endangered. I thought like
Really
those things would
isn't?
be for sure. You know, and they're like this weird, strange animal where they're like partially venomous or something.
Yeah,
and
so I always
they're-
forget that.
their
Like they're all
claws or
bizarre.
something is
So
venomous.
I was hoping to have like a trade of like, I'm going to trade this venomous platypus, you know, bring them back as whatever.
I'm really surprised you never said Komodo dragon because that was sort of what I was expecting
Are they
you to say.
endangered?
Well, it only lives in one spot, Spy.
I know that is true, but I think when I searched up that list, they might be. And granted, it was like a little bit of a long list, probably like 100 species on it. I don't know if I saw a Komodo dragon there.
Now, the other thing too, like when you were mentioning about blue whales,
Yeah.
I couldn't remember, but I seemed like when I was working in ATC, they used the charter flights to go out and count whales on in the Bering Strait there and over the Labrador Sea, but they weren't looking for blue whales. They were looking for right whales, because those were up there too for being endangered.
Yeah.
So there's not very many of those left.
Yeah, there's another one that was a whale called like the gray whale.
Something like that,
He's
yeah.
just a rip off of the blue one.
Yeah, it's a shitty blue whale, welfare blue whale.
But yeah, I wanted to trade the platypus for like, I don't know, a very highly venomous spider or something because I hate spiders. And also like, what are they doing? Like in Australia where they have the ones that like, I don't know. I can't remember what it is. It's not a cottonmouth. That's a rattlesnake. But, you know, one of those ones that they bite you and you can die within like 20 minutes. I'm like, I wonder what they're contributing to like the ecosystem there
or
in
like
Australia.
the bird spiders.
Well, yeah.
Spiders supposed to eat insects. You got ones that are eating birds. Get rid of them. Fucking get rid of them.
Yeah, that's the thing is whatever the spiders eat, then there's going to be a whole whack of those, whatever it is. But
Yeah, that's true. Which I don't know what those really highly venomous spiders eat. I guess there'd be more bugs or something, or maybe little lizards or something.
I think you could get rid of nippers too, like those friggin' mosquitoes, because life would find a way. I think they'd find something else to eat. Whatever was living off the mosquitoes could find something else.
Well, plus with mosquitoes, you also have like the West Nile virus.
yeah,
which,
that's the thing. Well, that's why you need spiders is to eat the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
What you need the mosquitoes for, I'm not exactly sure. I don't think they pollinate.
I don't think so
Anything?
either. I think
nothing. I think the only, or that's like a blue arse fly. What do that contribute into 24 hours that it flies around your house before it dies?
Yeah, that's a good
What is
point.
the purpose of the blue arse fly? Get rid of it.
The
Trade it
struggle.
out.
The struggle.
That's it. To tantalize and irritate you, flicking around in the window corner. That's it.
Well,
Fruit
they definitely
flies.
do that. Yeah. Fruit flies, it's the same thing.
Rats. I don't know what exactly rats contribute. I mean, they're good at spreading the plague.
Plague. Yeah,
But
that's
I
what I
mean-
thought of.
They're pretty nice as pets.
All right.
Gross.
No.
Gross.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But I mean,
No, they're pretty clean.
yeah. I mean, everything, like you said, there's got to be balance, right? So anything you get rid of, and that's why I was trying to think, what's the, most positive for negative
Yeah.
kind of thing.
And that's what I started thinking of too. And I was like, I just need to pick something that annoys me, which my car out there is just like a magnet for seagulls. They shit on it all the time. I don't know if it's that the blue color
I
or
think
what
it is the color blue because I came out to the truck the other day and it was fucking plastered in seagull shit and not another vehicle was touched.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if it got something to do with like they think it's water or something like that. And they're used to shitting in the ocean. I would not be surprised because it seems like I'm always fucking targeted. It doesn't make sense logically.
Yeah, it's the exact same for my car as well. So get rid of the seagulls. Screw them. Bring back the blue whales. Maybe not an equal trade because, like you said, the sea level would rise. We'd all drown probably.
Wait
but
for weight, maybe. Wait for weight.
maybe.
There'd probably be one extra blue whale.
Yeah. And with that, I think that'll kind of do it for us this week. We're your last podcast. And if you like what we're doing around here, make sure to subscribe to the podcast feeds so you don't miss out on any new episodes. And if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, share us with your friends. It really helps grow the show. And if you want to support the show in another way, you can always head on over to patreon.com/yourlastpodcast and help us grow what we're doing here. So with all that out of the way, I'm Colton.
I'm Josh.
I'm Grace.
I'm Ham.
And we'll be back. Nothing ham. No weird noise, no nothing.
Cut her off before he gets a chance. Cut her off.
Hold on. Kill all the seagulls. That's
right,
my plan.
there's our
World
sound.
Wildlife Bulletin over here.
There's our sound bite. So,
seagull
oh my
noise.
God. We'll be back with a new episode next week and every week thereafter until our last. So thanks for watching.
See you later.
Thank you.
Bye.